guys. First of all, this is not a value judgment about all Nautitech catamarans that ever were and ever will be. This is our personal experience with a boat built in 2019. All mistakes are ours, everything we noticed, pointed out. Second, we chartered this boat. We paid full price. You can expect us to be completely honest about everything we liked and especially everything we didn't like. Third, we lived in this boat for weeks. This boat is not in mint condition like you would see on a boat show. Keep that in mind. Now let's start the tour. We'll start with the cockpit because this is where you will spend most of your time. And this is what is currently clean. First of all, you see this table. It's a large table, it's a nice table, and it's a sturdy table. What we didn't like is that at least our charter company didn't provide us with chairs. So, like 4 people can sit there, but this cat is actually for 10 to 12 people. So what are the others to do? They only can sit here and not reach the table. Chairs are often offered, but they weren't offered on ours. They should be offered on everyone, otherwise this table is nigh unusable. Let's move forward. What we particularly liked is this place. It looks very narrow and it gets wet when it's raining, but it's actually a nice extra place where a person can lie down and still be part of the crew, but also have its place. And it's well protected with those windows. Down here we have our cushions and a sizable amount of storage. On the other side there is an extra... Ooh, we left something. There is an extra fridge and this large space. It can actually be a sink, but for now we used it to put everything we need on underway, but out of reach and out of the wet stuff. Down here we have our second storage, which is actually also quite sizable. It holds everything we hold dear. Gas bottles, petrol, whatever. And the Liferaft. You might think the Liferaft is difficult to reach, and we think the same. Actually, look, this panel can be taken out, but you still have to unscrew those or unfasten those fastenings and somehow pull it out from here. On the other hand, there are locking mechanisms down in the boat which would allow you to take it out even if the boat was capsized. They are under there, I'll show you in the video, but all in all, we don't like it because it's very heavy. You can't actually grab onto it nicely. And I wouldn't trust myself to get it out in an emergency. And I wouldn't trust some person with less physical strength as well. Looking back, we have our dinghy. It's the first time with a catamaran dinghy, and I liked it very much because it's a rib. It has a rigid bottom and is much larger than dinghies I'm used to. Also, as we have those davits, they could put a stronger motor, so 5 horsepower, which is approximately 2 times more than what you usually get on a monohull, which is good because with 10 people we could ferry a sizable number of them around. And also dropping it is a matter of seconds, not minutes. Some solar here, and basically we come to the main point of the Nautitech, the outer cockpit. As you can see, it's wet now. Just imagine more sunshine, please. All in all, we liked it. We liked that it wasn't on a separate level. We liked for the crew to be together, for me to keep an eye on everything, whether I'm sailing or sitting in the cockpit or relaxing in the salon. We have our motor throttles, finally in a reachable place. As you know, I often dislike how yachts put the motor throttles somewhere down there. Our steering wheel, everything nice and easy here, and our PNG controllers. I will show you some inside where it's not wet. And motor indicators which you can actually see. I like that as well, as you know. Back here we have our motor compartment. You will notice right away that this motor compartment opens to the back, which is a significant safety feature because I can work on it underway without being exposed to all the waves back there. On the other hand, the motor compartment is as cramped as could be because we have this whole steering situation here. It's not steering sitting. So to reach your transmission fluids and whatnot, you have to get way back in there. I don't know if you can even see it. Let's continue. Regular viewers might know that I'm not a fan of those leathers. I believe, especially in cats, there is enough space for decent non-foldable leather which won't squeeze your fingers and won't break. There are like 20 parts in it. Why? The main point of this seat on Nautitech is being able to look out of the water and also not being that high up so that you're not shaking around even in small waves. We like that. The visibility to the other side is basically zero. It's not zero, but it glares, and if anybody is in the cockpit, it vanishes quickly. Let's continue forward. By the way, those steps are quite nice, and here's a window from the aft cockpit, which we'll see to in a moment. You can grab onto here, which is definitely an important thing, and go here. Notice how low this is. This is basically my waist height. Compare that to the lagoon, a larger lagoon to be sure, but it's already a lot higher. We go forward with a nice grip here, and all the stuff that my crew forgot. These are the windows from our forward cockpit, forward cabins, and these two windows are from the cabins way to the front. No step. They are quite difficult to open. Those are the crew cabs. They are more sizable than you would expect and feel way nicer. So no one of us slept here, although we had people sleeping not in the double cabins. But what you don't think about when you think about them is that on any anchorage with at least some movement, those will have the most movement. So one of us tried to sleep there and was almost immediately nauseous. Let's close it up. I'll do it later. Also nice that they provided a lifeline the whole length here. Those nets are of course a crew favorite. Lying on them, I slept on them quite a few nights with a mattress, and they provide of course unparalleled view of the water compared to a monohull. Roller foresail, not a large one, with a self-tacking, basically a self-tacking jib, and we liked it. We can't say anything too bad about it, but well, it's not a Genoa. Large lockers with 2 water tanks here, and place for all your fenders. 8 large cylindrical fenders and 2 round ones fit here easily. And a place for a chain, actually deep enough for it to somehow, okay, now it doesn't look that good. But a place for your chain and all the things you need here. Water tanks and the same locker on this side. This is the thing I like so much about Nautitech, and one of the things why we chose it. As you see, the boom isn't high up above, so we can actually work on it standing here, and the access here is actually extremely well positioned because you can grab onto here and step onto those steps. What I missed is some hook to fasten your reefs. All your reefs need to be done here, which I find it's not a modern solution. There are better solutions to do it from the cockpit. So like a small detail, a hook here was missing, but all in all, you can actually work up here, and you see it's on my chest height. I can very easily work on this boom if something happens with the furling system and whatnot. Let's continue. I want to get out of the rain quickly. Those hatches provide nice forward visibility and a lot of ventilation here. This is the bathroom ventilation and a small window for the aft cockpit on the side. And a foresail furler with a matching navigation station in the back here. Down here you have access to your steering mechanism. You can inspect it, as you see, and also our water pumps. All in all, this should be it for the cockpit. One thing that is left is a gas locker, which is hidden in here. Two things are left actually. There's a gas locker, nicely hidden away. But I want to show you is that actually a nice way to enjoy your trip looking back. One more thing I want to show you are those windows, which provide you with an extremely nice view on your sails from the protection of your cockpit. Also, you can get some plastic protectors here, which close out the cockpit. We didn't have those, we didn't really need those, but they would have been nice. This is an electric winch and your main sail furler and your genoa sheet. We find it quite nice to work with, although we missed at least some space to store the lines for the traveler and the main sheet. We of course had those, but nothing we could easily store them while underway while working with them. Now let's continue inside.